So I knocked over the camera about 3 times when I was trying to get your reading started. Yeah, not fun. Okay, so I am starting with Aquarius. I don't have a method of how I start my readings anymore. I used to pick off the top of the deck, and then I started just feeling it. And anyway, so you guys get to start off the December readings. I figured I would try to get a jump on it. I may have mentioned it in my other readings before. I'm not one of those tarot readers who can do December readings, the last week in November, because I'm not a fortune teller. I use predictive astrology, and usually that entails getting into the month and the planets kind of getting situated in their respective houses, and if I have to familiarize myself with what's going on in the planets if I haven't looked in a couple days and all that. Not much going on in Aquarius right now. It's pretty empty, as is your partner across the way, Leo. There's not too much going on. The closest thing is, Neptune's in Pisces, which is close to you. Other than that, there's not much going on in your zodiac sign right now. I did want to mention that if you were born between December 19th and January 16th and January 23rd, you are the Capricorn Aquarius cusp. And if you're born between February 15th and February 21st, you are the Aquarius Pisces cusp. Also, if you do not find anything that resonates with you within this reading, check your this is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. Also, you can check your chart in the Vedic astrology chart. And if you're looking for a love message, which we don't know if one will come out because I didn't pull cards this time, I'm going to do that while I'm here. So you can check which house Venus resides in, and maybe you'll find a message there. December 12th is the full moon. Interestingly enough, it's at 12 a.m., I believe, on 12/12, which is really cool. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is take one of these bracelets off, because that's quite annoying. So instead of getting all complicated with these messages this month, I figured since we're getting ready to start a new year, it's probably better if we just get down to business and I'm going to do my old school cards, or my first decks that I started when I started actually reading cards for people. I got these decks, and they get straight to the point, and that way we'll know what's up, what we have to deal with. I do it's called a Romany spread. It's pretty in-depth reading, but we need to know what's going on. There's, despite last month when, we were moving into Sag season and everything in 2020 is going to be peachy and everybody's, starting over, rebirth and all that good stuff. Everything's getting hashed out right now because, some people aren't going to do it, obviously. I mean, there is free will. The universe is in control of everything, or God, what have you. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Fortunately, like I said, there's not too much going on in your sign right now. It doesn't mean that you are, completely protected from anything happening to you, or good or bad. I mean, you never know what could happen. I don't know yet, but we will see. I suppose everybody's getting ready for the holidays. I do everything at the last minute. Always been that way. everybody else in my family, it already looks like Santa Claus. Just going through everywhere you look, there's Christmas decorations everywhere. You can't move. I love the decorations. I'm just not a huge fan of the holiday myself. And on that note, there are reasons why. It's almost kind of what I'm about to get into. I guess I can jump into that before, based since I haven't completely finished shuffling your cards. Because Jupiter, it's in Capricorn right now. Jupiter is, so like if you look in the tarot deck, Jupiter is associated with the Wheel of Fortune, and it has to do with money. And in Capricorn is the goat. It's the devil card in the tarot deck, and that can allude to or signify materialization, possessions, greed, all that kind of stuff. And because it's Christmas season, I just thought it would be a good idea to remind everybody not to overlook the people in need, or not to, I don't know, overspend, perhaps. Overdrink. If you're in your feels, overeat. I said overspend. All kinds of things that you can do. The political climate doesn't. Well, I think we're coming off the heels of a pretty successful Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so that shows the amount of materialization in the world. I guess it's good for the economy, I guess. But yeah, there's just a lot of spending going on, and a lot of self-serving individualism. And I'm not talking about you. I'm not singling you out at all. It's just an overall energy of overexpenditure in the world right now. So, just thought I'd put out a friendly reminder. I don't really know that I have to with your sign. You guys are fairly benevolent people. Aquarians are sweet, and they're also intelligent enough to make the right decisions. Okay, so that wanted to come out. Now, like I said, this is a Romany spread, so it's pretty big, but okay, we have typically the sign across the top is your past, but when I get down, I'll explain it more. So, we have your past. So you have the Four of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, speaking of Jupiter, hey Big Daddy, the Chariot card, and the Nine of Swords. This is the present right now. And you have the Knight of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups, you have the Two of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands, the King of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. And this is your future. You have the Moon, you have the Queen of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Ten of Cups reversed, the Ten of Wands, the Devil, hey Capricorn, and the Tower. Now, as I go through and read this, okay, so I do it like this. The Four of Pentacles to the Four of Wands. Okay, so this shows me that there was an issue, some fighting going on surrounding a marriage, perhaps, with the Ten of Swords, or a separation or divorce due to a marriage, and this is in your very, very distant past, or in your past. Or there was some withholding of money, some dishonesty within a marriage or a relationship, maybe even a business decision that brought everything to a halt, and it really, some lying, maybe, somebody stabbed in the back, or maybe a wedding that didn't take place because of money. It has something to do with some kind of a wedding or a celebration or a partnership where, you know, that whatever went down wasn't good. And here you have the Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and with the Nine of Swords here in the Chariot, this is the Cancerian energy here also. Could have been a Cancer or Scorpio you were dealing with, but not necessarily. So, contracts, paperwork, something like that, dissolved. But whatever happened, it was to your benefit. Some kind of contract, somebody not honoring something that has to do with papers, or, but anyway, this is, you know, this is the cutting through the bullshit card. Despite, you know, you were able to keep moving forward and doing whatever you needed to do, but I see here in the outcome, whatever happened, it still left you. So I'm not really seeing that this situation got resolved, whatever was going on here. I see somebody maybe withholding some information, but whatever happened, it either did not get resolved, or it did not play out the way that you wanted it to. Because the Nine of Swords is anxiety, it's distress. And coming down here in your very, very recent past, I'm sort of sensing like this Knight of Swords may be you. You had to stand up for yourself, and it was a very, very it was a tough decision around this. You know you're right. You've got all your ducks in a row. I feel like all your ducks are in a row. But you kind of had to go charging towards whatever this was, or cleaning up this mess, handling this issue that I feel like was really left over from whatever happened here. I don't know why I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm seeing work contracts, like a business. I'm really seeing like a restaurant or something. This also could have been someone, the loss of a business, or a decline of a business because of a death in the family and contractual obligations. Maybe the business had to be sold or split up because of it, and this could be somebody just upset due to that. Could have been, this was you just worked really, really hard to get somewhere, and you made it with positive outcome, and then turn around and just, I don't know, something fell through. Somebody didn't hold up what they were supposed to do, or somebody was withholding information they really made whatever process this was with paperwork or contracts just really, really difficult, and it really just you really had to, run in there and clean up stuff, maybe change stuff around, and get it together. And I guess there were several ways that you could have dealt with this, and you spent a lot of time contemplating on how to deal with this. But speaking, you figure it out. Everything gets figured out here, because you have the Ace of Wands, which you figure out a new way to go about this. Whatever's going on here, you figure out a new way to go about it, and you just do it from a genuine place. I'm really feeling like you kept, because here, I mean, we can see with this Nine of Swords and this Knight of Swords, with the, obviously you were upset and you were mad because you came charging in there, like his arms are crossed, the swords are crossed. You're hot, right? I mean, you're not happy, but you go in there and you keep it in check. And perhaps it was a lot of work, or just something you had to figure out, right? Really quick. You had to resolve this issue, and the outcome, I mean, here's the King of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. You couldn't get a better outcome, so you kept yourself in check, because I mean, here you are, the King of Cups, the water sign, and I wouldn't expect anything less from you. This, you're pretty calm and collected most of the time. That's your sign. The Moon to the Queen of Cups. This is your this is your future. For some of you, you could be meeting someone new. With the Three of Wands here, it could be that you're missing someone. Or just reflecting on them. There's someone on your mind. Now, whether it's a woman. It could be a mom. I'm trying to see what You're keeping it really quiet, though. With this Moon card here, perhaps it's somebody you used to live with. Let's see the Two Towers here. I always see that sometimes when there's a Cups energy around the Moon, and when it's emotions, right? And lid on the cup, and keeping a lid on your emotions. I sense I don't want to say an indifference, because obviously you're sad, so you're not indifferent. It's not a hate. It's not a hate memory, or even a sadness. Almost just like a reflective. I'm just getting like a reflective energy. And I see that this actually, there's a little Cupid here on the side of this chair, or a little Cupid, a cherub on the side of this chair. Maybe around Valentine's Day, it's going to be a little bit tough on you, because I mean, if it's a past relationship or something and you're thinking about the person, Valentine's Day is the time of year for that to come up. I mean, some of you could have met somebody and you just plain get stood up, and somebody goes you, go out on a date. And then this could also be the dissolving of a relationship. Yeah. The Ten of Cups is family, and it's in reverse. To the Ten of Wands next to the Devil and the Tower card, and I wish I had a better outcome for this, but for some of you, there is going to be maybe a house sold, or yeah, divorce finalized, something to that effect. Because this, whatever, you're doing the right thing. This, whatever's going on here, if you're just living with this person or if you're married, whatever, if the person cheated and there's toxicity, drugs and alcohol, I'm detecting a lot of issues here around money and business. And, you know, somebody... It's just not a good, it's not a good situation. There's dishonesty here. I'm really, really sensing somebody cheated. Somebody had an outright, just blatant affair here. I mean, and I'm not talking an emotional affair. Somebody had a, just blew it up. And I'm seeing an expenditure of money that maybe made somebody lose their business or their home. Something like that has happened here. I'm gonna clarify this stuff a little bit more. The Two of Swords, Death in reverse, the Judgment, oh yeah, the Tower, oh my, the Hermit, the Four of Cups, the Four of Swords, wow, Eight of Swords, oh, the King of Swords, Six of Wands, Hierophant, Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups, oh, you guys, oh, what is going on? I do not like giving bad news. I was feeling, you know, I start feeling some kind of way when I pull out. And I always like to get the ones that I feel are having the hardest time out first. And the past 2 days, it takes me a couple days, maybe a day and a half, and I'll start feeling, you know, one of the signs, and I'm like, yep. And it usually boils down to about 2 or 3. By the end of the first day, I start thinking about it, and then, you know, towards the earlier in the day of the next day, it'll, you know, kind of weed out. It's like turning on a radio station, and you're turning the dial, and you get a couple of stations, and they come in and out, and they come in and out, and then you finally can, like, tune it, and then you get the clear station, and then you can start that's kind of how it is for me when I first start picking up who I'm going to read for. That's exactly what it's like. Okay. This, okay, you have the Three of Swords, the Death card, the Judgment, and the Tower. Okay, so here you have the Two of Swords again, making a decision. The Death card in reverse is the ending to something. It's judgment. Okay, it's it's not justice. It's judgment with the Tower. But I'm still getting the relationship contract, the Tower, the ending of something here again. I mean, we had the Tower here already. We've had the Two of Swords here already. The Hermit, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Swords. And I mean, here, look, it's the same energy. It's just sadness, regret, and the Hermit doesn't always make me think of, you know, a depressed person or a sad person all the time. It's just with this particular deck, because of the coloring and the way he looks, it's a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking. a lot of hurt. Somebody really hurt somebody here. And here you, with all these swords, right? You have the Eight of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Six of Wands. This is the marriage card right here, smack in the middle. Somebody stuck. Somebody may have done something and actually gone to jail. I mean, this can signify prison. There could have been some money laundering or something around this business. Scorpio. Why am I drawing the blanks? Yeah. Libra. Aquarius, Scorpio. So it could be you and another Aquarius. Could have been you and a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, maybe. That's what I'm getting here. It's the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So obviously this was a couple. There's a Ten of Cups upright, and the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. There were children involved in this situation for some of you. Perhaps a custody battle where one of the children had to testify against a parent. Sad. Again, we have the Queen of Cups here, the Moon, and the Three of Swords. Somebody's heartbroken. Someone had a lot of decisions around, again, the Four of Wands, the marriage. There are several queens and kings in this reading. Well, because of what happened here, and all that can be read that way, and it's relative. Normally I would get this as heartbreak for you, but I'm really feeling like because this girl on here is a child, that the children that were involved here had a really hard time. Like they were really sad. And this is in your future. You may not even be divorced yet, but you're heading there, or you're splitting up from somebody. I'm also feeling like this is like a division of assets here, and somebody's just like, you see how his arm's out and he's just like, take it. You're at that point, you just went out, you're like, take whatever the hell's left, take what you want, I don't care, just get me the hell, I just want to get away from you. Whether it's because you're done. Now, whether you or not you were seeing somebody else before your marriage ended, I'm not sure. It could have been two other people you were seeing. Maybe you were just dating, because maybe you've been separated for a while and you were dating other people. I don't think that's okay, but you know, I'm not here to judge you. It happens. The thing of it is whoever you were with, they were toxic. It was no good. It was they either had a problem with drugs, or I'm seeing everything. Drugs, money, everything. Just lying. Like everything that could happen in a marriage, that somebody could be a bad spouse. It was here. It was either drinking or drugs. It was money. I'm seeing business contracts messed up. Or if this was a relationship, the person, they just, they weren't right. They were just all over the place. Perhaps just they anyway, they weren't a good person. Anyway, moving into your future here, when you get to about here and over, it's starting to look good. It looks to me that you are meeting someone else, or like I said, if you were in a relationship kind of before your marriage ended or will end, or if you were seeing somebody else, whoever this other person is that you were going to talk to or start talking to, they're a very well balanced person. Seeing it could be a Sagittarius, a Libra, another Aquarius, maybe a Gemini. Could be a Leo, or have Leo placements. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Could be an Aries. Yeah. I'm seeing an air sign or a fire sign. For females, and that's for the males, because these two women are either like a Sag, Leo, or Libra. The women, it could be an earth sign or a Leo. He's, he'll take care of you. He's a stable guy. But suffice it to say, whoever this other person is that you meet, because I'm seeing you moving into a relationship pretty quick when you come out of this, or even into a new something. There's something new that's starting here. And it's a well-balanced situation. There's just the right amount of everything, and it's a copacetic situation where everything works good. If this is a person that you're in a relationship with, you give each other just the right amount of distance. This female is well-balanced. She's intelligent. You work hard. You focus on your kid, you focus on your family, everything's good. So whatever this mess was in the past, it's coming to an end. Whether you move into a new business or you start a new project, you start a new job, you change schools, something had to go down. Paperwork had to be discussed. Stuff blew up. People were being on the up and up. There was, like I said, there were drugs involved for some, there were toxic energy, money involved. I hate to keep repeating myself, but that's what I just keep seeing. You handled yourself like a true Aquarius. I still feel like I'm missing something here. You're still... So down here in your future position, there's still this waiting for something, trying to... But something else, and I don't know what this is. I'm not picking up what it is, but there's something else. Something, you need to find a solution to something. You've tried... all these different ways, like you put it in place, you tried all these different ways to put something in place. You picked it all up again, and then like you've tried something, you keep trying to do something. It was like a formula, like you're trying to put something together, and it just blows up every time, or it's not coming out right. You can't find the solution to something. It's not... And taking these two people out of the, don't look at them as people right now and look at them as energies. This is extreme focus and intellect, right? This is the King of Pentacles to the Queen of Swords. And you've got the King of Swords here, you've got the Page of Swords here, you've got all this intellectual focus. And the solution, I don't know what maybe you're trying to start this business or put this project together and you're trying to come up with an answer. Okay. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I'll get into. I can give you some advice. Okay, so there, some of you may know. I think this is just general psychology. There are two terms. They're called productive thinking and reproductive thinking. So when we're born, we're born with productive thinking. When we come out of the womb and when we're children and we're first learning and the first 6 years of our life are very important, but even the first 2 or 3 years, I mean, from the time you come out of the womb, you're starting to hear voices, or even in the womb, but everything. But still, as a child, you have productive thinking, you have creativity, you have imagination. You're sitting there playing with your toys and you're putting things together, and you can make up all these little stories in your head, and you always find a solution, right? I mean, just think about it. If you were a kid and you were playing with toy soldiers or something, and you were lining them up and they kept falling over, or you were stacking up your Legos and they kept falling over, nobody really went and pulled out the directions out of the little toy soldier pack or the Lego pack and looked to see how it was done. We just picked up our toys and we just put pieces there, or we found a little platform to stick your little toy soldiers up on or something to make them stand up. We could think out of the box. That's what we did when we were children. We came up with our own solutions. So once you get into school, and I'm not knocking academia whatsoever because I have the utmost respect for that, but once you get into school, what happens is you end up with reproductive thinking, right? Because there's a lot of, you can give a lot of credit to that because it works. A lot of the time it works. For this formula you do this, for this math problem you solve it like this. Do it this way because it worked that way before. You try to do that, but sometimes the situation requires, or the problem requires, some productive thinking. So try going back to, just, I don't know, pick anything random and say, what could I do with that? Or just look at some general term in comparison to that, or how does that fit that way? I wonder if this would fit this way, and try to look at your solutions. Go at it a little bit. Try a different way, something completely, and even if it doesn't work, it's, that way it just takes your mind out of that loop of that reproductive thinking, because that solution, you've tried it this way so many different times. Try it a different way. And I'm not the one to be sitting here to tell the Aquarians, the most intelligent zodiac signs, how to think, but usually whatever you do, it works. You're the students. You're the intelligent ones. You couldn't have come up with the more intelligent animal cards. I mean, here you have a lion, you have the black egg, you have the cosmic egg, you have the sea serpent. I mean, you have 3 cards from ether. This is the highest intelligence you can get. You have the lion. He's the king, right? He's the man. You have the dolphin. We know they're the most intelligent animals in the ocean, obviously. And see this snake here? This is eye-opening. This networking and this snake is making me think of synapses in the brain, right? This is everything lighting up. You just have to look a little bit harder. And don't hold on to that one solution so tight, all right? Let it go. Because once you let that go, once you let that, let go of that one idea that you've held on to, or that one way that you did it, your brain lights up and everything, and it's like boom, and then everything just comes into play. It works. And then from that point on, you're good. You boss up, right? You're solid. Go back to your inner child thinking. Like I said, Neptune is right there next to you in Pisces. You're close to Pisces. You're right there. That's your neighbor. That's the creativity. With that on your side and the intelligence that you have, Jupiter's right next to you on the other side in Capricorn. You're surrounded by enough of the components that you need, coupled with your intelligence, that you can make this work. I'm also getting the feeling that networking here is important. So, and you're having a tendency to feel kind of like when something doesn't work or it takes a lot of effort, you're just like, I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. Somehow you get up and you keep trying and you keep doing it. And you have a couple days where it just keeps happening and you're just like, I can't, but you keep going. You just kept at it. So don't get too down in yourself and give up. And I don't see any indicators that you're gonna quit or give up. But there's a lot of times that you feel like giving up. One, you guys aren't the best ones about talking about your emotions either. You and Capricorn, your little buddy over there, have that in common. But with this networking here and this, it's kind of like this guy reaching out and this little girl being said, just pick up the phone and call somebody. Even just a chat, talk to a friend, just step away from whatever you're doing and just talk about your feelings. I know you have at least one or two people in your life that you can call. If not, call a parent, talk to your mom, call your best friend, somebody. Just when you start getting like that, just call somebody. Because whatever's going on here, it's just been, you've had to put in so much effort. But you didn't quit. You've handled it great. At least that's what it looks like to everybody else. Your inner turmoil has been minimally discussed here, I can see. At any rate, the outcome is amazing. Whatever project this is, you will figure it out. But just keep thinking about the toy soldiers, right? And if all of this stuff going on here resonates with you, whatever this relationship was, the holidays are not going to make it easy. Or if you're split up with whoever you're going to be with, and you know there's a divorce coming, and holidays are going to be hard on you or your kids, or you're just lonely because you were out of a relationship, whatever, you have good things coming to you. Everything is great. Whatever this project is, you'll have a solution. It's going to be a great outcome. You have good prospects for a relationship, or if the relationship that you're in now, the person that you're with, I'm telling you, they're solid, they're good. So in your future, everything looks great for you. I mean, there's nothing bad besides maybe you having some children that are upset, dealing with the emotions of your children down here from the separation. There's nothing bad in your future at all. And even in your current, future coming up within the next, time, I said, besides this relationship possibly splitting up, everything else is good. And judging from what I see here, it looks like some of you probably wanted this to get over with. So you were, you know, been waiting to end this. So, yeah, just my advice for you guys is to remember your your Legos and your toy soldiers. Think out of the box for solutions, and that can be applied to anything, not just a project, just to everyday life solutions. You know, like, do that. You know, if you have children, make sure you pay attention to their emotions. So I'm seeing there are some children here who are having a hard time with something. Get prepared, because if you're not with somebody right now, very soon there's going to be a really, really good person coming into your life. So maybe you want to start drinking some water and, you know, working out a little bit. You know, maybe lose a couple pounds. I'm not saying you guys are fat. I'm just saying if you want to get shape. You know, because when you meet somebody new, you kind of want to act like you take care of yourself, at least at first, right? But yeah, everything's good. Everything's coming up. So yeah, that's what you have coming up for you, Aquarius, and it looks great. And remember, make that phone call if you need to talk to somebody. Hey, you've got ways to get a hold of me. If you really need somebody to talk to, message me. You know, people call me all the time when they have problems. That's what I'm here for. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.